Hi guys, in the previous video we discussed interconversion of different shades of matter, right? So there we discussed what is a fusion, what is a vaporization, what is a condensation, what is a solidification, what is a sublimation, what is a deposition. In this video we are going to discuss what is evaporation, scientifically speaking. But before that, I want you to understand what is vaporization perfectly. If you are taking water and start heating the water, what happens? The water is going to reach the boiling point. After reaching the boiling point, it is going to convert it into water vapors. And that process is known as vaporization. That means the water has to reach the boiling point, and only after reaching the boiling point, the water gets converted into water vapors. But there are some other cases, usually when the water does not reach its boiling point but still gets converted into water vapors. Suppose we have water just taken in a beaker and kept at a room temperature. Usually this water gets converted into water vapors. Is it reaching boiling point? No. Boiling point is 100 degrees. You have to heat it. Similarly, when you put wet clothes for drying, do they boil? No. But even then they get dried. What is happening in both the cases? The water coming from here, they are getting converted into water vapors. But are they reaching their boiling point? No. If they are reaching the boiling point, then they are getting converted into water vapors, then that is known as vaporization. But if the liquids are converted into vapors without reaching the boiling point or well below its boiling point, then that process is known as evaporation. That process is known as evaporation. This evaporation happens all the way. You can see the seas, lakes, rivers, all the time water is getting evaporated from the surfaces, right? So therefore, this evaporation is a surface phenomenon. Evaporation is surface phenomenon. So what do you mean by surface phenomenon? That means this is happening at the surface level. This process is happening at the surface level. So what happens is, scientifically speaking, if we have some water molecules or water particles are there, suppose this is water particles, so here also water particles are there. So these water particles which are at the surface of the water, they have little extra kinetic energy. They have more kinetic energy than that of the particles which are below the surface. So because of this more kinetic energy that the particles possess, which are on the surface, they are able to break the force of attraction between the other particles, and they can escape from the surface and they can become a water vapor. This process is known as evaporation. So evaporation is essentially the process of changing of liquids into vapors below their boiling point without reaching their boiling point. That process is known as evaporation. I hope you guys understood what is evaporation. Next, there are so many factors which affect the rate of evaporation. What do you mean by rate of evaporation? How quickly or how slowly the evaporation takes place. Right? So in that, the first factor is surface area. The first factor is surface area. I told you that the evaporation process is a surface phenomenon. It is more related to the surface, because the particles at the surface become vapor, right? So what happens is, if you are drying your clothes in the sun, so will you spread them more or you just not spread them? What happens? You will more likely to spread them because they are going to dry easily, right? So that means you are increasing the surface area of your clothes so that the evaporation takes place and all the wet content from your clothes it gets evaporated, right? So that means if you increase the surface area, you can say the evaporation will also be faster. That means if you increase surface area, the evaporation also increases. That is about it. Then second factor is temperature. So if you increase the temperature, let me take the same example. You put clothes for drying. So are they going to dry up when there is more sunlight, or they are going to dry up faster when there is a less sunlight? They are going to dry up fast when there is a more sunlight. More sunlight means more temperature. So more the temperature is, the evaporation will be quicker. Okay. So therefore, if you increase the temperature, what happens? The evaporation also increases. This is the second factor. Next one is called humidity. What is humidity? Humidity means it is the amount of water vapor present in the air. So during a rainy season, you can see that the clothes do not dry up easily. Why? Because of more humidity. That means if the temperature is less, if the air already contains enough water molecules, it cannot hold more water molecules from the clothes, right? So therefore, your clothes will take more time to dry up when there is a more humidity. That means if humidity is less, evaporation will be more, and during a climate like a rainy season, if there is more humidity, then your clothes may get extra time to get dry. That means the evaporation will be less. Okay. So humidity, if humidity is more, then the evaporation will be less. If humidity is more, the evaporation will be less. Next, let us talk about wind speed. So when there is a wind coming in your way, at that time, tell me about drying up the clothes. The clothes will dry up faster on a windy day than on a normal day. That means wind also increases the rate of evaporation. Okay. So if the wind speed is more, then the rate of evaporation is also more. These are the different factors which affect the rate of evaporation. So what we have learned is the evaporation. Evaporation is a surface phenomena in which the liquids are converted into vapors well below their boiling point. And there are four factors which affect the rate of evaporation. First one is the surface area. If you increase the surface area, evaporation also increases. Second one is the temperature. If you increase the temperature, evaporation also increases. Next one is humidity. If you increase the humidity, the evaporation decreases. Then wind speed. If the wind speed is more, then the evaporation will be less. Okay. I hope you understood.